Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now we're getting closer and closer to spring, and as we turn the corner, I am just getting excited. Outdoor fire pits, cookouts, all the different activities, just getting outside, breaking into spring. I absolutely cannot wait. And when it comes to entertaining, well, it's always nice to have a little bit of music, and that's where the people at Herdio come into play. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look at this awesome Bluetooth speaker setup. Exterior speakers, marine grade, capable of living outdoors, but providing that entertainment value, a little bit of tunes, a little bit of ambiance while you're out there enjoying your time, whether it's the cookout, whether it's having the backyard fire pit, any way you go. I hope this Herdio setup is going to perform well. So what we're going to do today, we're going to go through this in detail. I'm going to bust this out of the package here. Got a little bit of weight to it. We got a number of speakers, amplifier, all sorts of good quality outdoor gear ready to go. Then we'll bust it out, bring it outside, get it set up, and then hopefully by the time I am done with this video, it's nice outside, I'm having a fire, and it's time to party. And so with that said, I have a whole bunch to do and a whole bunch to share with you. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about what I'm about to get into, do me a favor, stay tuned. Now, before we get too far, I would like to say thank you very much to the people at Herdio who did provide this for review. And so as we get into this here, keep in mind the fact that there are a bunch of different kits. So depending on what you're trying to do, there really are a number of different solutions, different sizes of speakers. So everything from 4-inch to 5-inch to 6-inch. There's sort of different setups. This particular unit here having an amplifier and 4 speakers, but there are some that are just Bluetooth ready. So depending on what you're trying to do, you can get very simple or very complicated with your setup. And in this particular case here, 5-inch speakers, so kind of in the middle, 4 speakers, but then this also has sort of like an amplifier. So I'm going to need to get sort of crafty in how I set this up. And keep in mind the fact that Herdio did really reach out and specifically try to talk me through my solution and what would be the right product for me. So I explained to them my setup. They had me send them photos of my patio and my deck area where this will be set up. And they actually came back with recommendations for what products would be the most suitable for my given needs. Now, also keep in mind the fact that this is going to be a little bit sensitive. There are parts of this system that are water resistant, and there are part of this system that need to be protected. The speakers here are water resistant, so these will have no problem living outside. But some of the electronics, I'm going to need to be a little bit more careful. And so as we get into this here, again, keep in mind, this is the 5-inch speaker. So the HOS-501. This entire setup will run off of an amplifier. So the small amplifier here, again, this will need to be protected. So you do need to protect this from the weather and including your power cable. So this will be a little bit of an experiment for me to see what I can do. But the speakers themselves are capable of withstanding the elements. Now these 501 speakers in the entire system running off of Bluetooth 4.0, so should have the ability to run all of this off of Bluetooth devices. There are also, some auxiliary inputs. You see there's a microphone, auxiliary in, USB, so a little bit of flexibility when you go with this particular setup. The power output, 2 times 150 watts at the maximum power. So they're saying 2 times 150 watt max power. I'm not exactly sure what they're going for there, but regardless, 150 watt max power. The woofer inside here, a 5-inch injection molded PP cone. It's butyl rubber surround, so seems like the actual woofer itself in terms of the overall construction. And then the tweeter, a 1-inch, what they're calling a PET dome. So I'm certainly by no means a speaker expert. However, I'm certainly going to be able to speak to installation of this unit and then the overall quality. Looking at the back of the speakers here, you will see that is your connections for the actual speaker cable. So pretty nice in terms of the overall construction. I will be definitely interested to see how these perform and how they last out in the elements. You'll notice that these have the ability to stand them down if you so choose, but in my particular case, I will definitely be mounting these on the brackets. You also have the ability to leverage external brackets if you don't use the built-in brackets, and there's a little bit of a knob for the adjustability and the tension on this unit. So you can see this will help you to angle them and then keep these in place. For me, I think one of the key things is going to be practicing ahead of time. So I don't really want to jump too far ahead until I've set everything up here in a controlled environment, and that will allow me to make some decisions when I get to mounting these outside. My intent is to mount these on my deck, so it's hard to say. I'm not certain that I will go vertical. I think I'm going to go horizontal with these, which should give me what I need for overall coverage. But if I can make them work, I will go vertical, but again, I'll probably go horizontal. That's my guess. For the overall installation, we will need some hardware, so some good durable screws. I am going to use deck screws, nice and long, deep penetration into the wood, and then the ability to leverage these slots. So pretty much what I'm going to do is hook these directly onto the screws. So as long as I get the screws properly mounted and in alignment, that should work out just fine. And you will also need some small precision screwdrivers for the amplifier. So here you can see this is basically going to be left side, right side, positive and negative. And then again, once you get to the speakers, you're going to have your positive and negative. So keeping that straight will make a difference. You're going to want to be consistent as you go. So red wire and black wire will make a difference. Again, just pay attention to those details during installation. This is fairly straightforward, but for me to get started, I'm basically going to take my precision screwdriver, little flathead here, and then inside here, just going to loosen up these terminals. So backing these off just enough. Make sure you have a well-fitting screwdriver. So in my particular case, this seems to be a 3.5 flathead. Again, this is just going to be a trial indoors to get things established. So black and red, basically at this point, speakers should be pretty straightforward. You definitely have a black side and a red side. So getting the red side established. The nice thing is these ends are soldered, so they're not going to fray. You don't need to twist up the ends and get that, braid established. They're nicely soldered, which should really aid in ease of installation, but also the quality of the connectivity. So that's nice. I'm going to establish this as right-hand side and left-hand side for the demonstration. And as you take a look at the amplifier, right-hand side, positive, negative. So that's R1 and R2. So right-hand side here, R1 and R2. Now, in the event that you are following along with the instructions, you'll notice they say the red terminal is positive, the black terminal is negative. So as you look, this is how they have it laid out in the instructions: red, positive, black, negative. Which for me here, as I leverage this red, positive, and black, negative, these will slide right in the terminals, so no problem, right into the amplifier, and then I'm going to tighten down with my precision screwdriver. So now with everything wired, very straightforward, extremely simple, not a lot to it, but I'm basically just going to plug everything in here in the studio, make sure the Bluetooth connects, make sure all the connections are sound, and that I have a lay of the land. So as I move forward, I'll be ready to transition all of this outdoors. But again, pretty simple here. Just gonna plug in my power. So this again will need to be protected. So the power adapter will need some sort of an enclosure to live outside. I have ideas and things I'm going to try. And that's assuming, of course, all of this comes to life. As we get this plugged in here, you can... Ooh.
Bluetooth mode.
Ooh, fancy. Coming right to life, so that's a good sign. Toggling my Bluetooth off and then back on. This is giving me the ability to pair HOS-501 pairing. Came right to life, no problem.
Connected.
Oh, that was super fast. Getting some music going here, which you've probably heard in the past. Let's give this a quick run. Ooh. It's cranking. All right. So my left-hand speaker 1 and 2, definitely working nice. Right hand speaker 1 and 2. Very cool. So right here I have volume up and down. Oh yeah, that absolutely works. And this should be fast forward, but I expect it'll probably only work with the appropriate software. Right now I'm running a real basic
Line in mode.
Oop,
Speaker mode.
that's now coming out of my phone.
Bluetooth mode. Connected.
Very responsive. I'm actually blown away at how quick that connectivity happens. So that's a good sign. Let's give this a go here. Oh, these sound nice. That's great. Now, all in all, the installation of the Herdio HOS-501 went very, very well. Easy to install, easy to wire up, and the only thing I really needed to do is leverage a couple of boxes for both the power supply and the amplifier. But at this point, everything going fairly well now as I pick some music here in the same track we've been leveraging the entire time, getting this going here. This is really pretty straightforward. I am able to leverage my volume controls here, which is nice and responsive. But the only problem, keep in mind, I'm about 12 feet away from the amplifier, which is the Bluetooth device. So as I walked off to about 30, maybe 35 feet, the Bluetooth signal did start to strain. But other than that, very good. So you do need to stay in reasonable proximity with your device in order for the Bluetooth receiver to pick it up. Keep in mind, again, of course, the fact that my Bluetooth receiver is in a box. So does that make a difference? It might. My particular location here, I might be better if I run a longer power cord to the corner of the deck, ultimately get that away and kind of tucked up in under here. Might be better, but I do have access to the power and it's pretty straightforward. So alright guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you liked that. Thank you so much to the people at Herdio who did provide these for review. And for the rest of you, if you like this content, do me a favor. Take a look at my Outer Limitless 2 channel, which is more on the tactical and firearm side of things. At this point, that channel's growing quickly. I got a ton of videos up there. So if you like what you see here on Outer Limitless, do me a favor and check me out on Outer Limitless 2. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.